Hi all. Hope you all are energetic for the coming exams. Huh? Even if not, let's make it energetic. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Chinmay.Pathak, and today I'm going to cover this chapter, Management, Operational and Internal Audit, which roughly comes for 5 marks in every alternate exam, in every alternate attempt. We'll cover them. This is not a revision video. This is a complete coverage video. So we are going to cover every and each thing, and that too in English. Okay, this is 100% coverage, so you can even compare the video, the content in it with the ICI module, and you will find that each and everything has been covered. And to make it more fun, there's just an example, and we are going to stick with it. And just remembering the example might give you complete 5 marks in the exam. There's no might, it will surely give you. So yes, management, operational, internal audit. What does this mean? Okay, everything starts with the meaning. Let's go to the example directly. Recently, the IPL is going on, and again RCB. See, many Virat fans are very disappointed because the RCB has not qualified. Now, the RCB players, okay, the RCB team management calls me and tells me that, sir, we want the reason why we are not winning. Okay, now I am a chartered accountant. How I am going to do it? So for the time being, consider it as an example. Okay, for the time being, yes, I am appointed to audit them. Now, as a stat auditor, what I am going to do? I am going to go and check their financial books. Right now, in this, there is no financial records. What is being happened? What has happened, or what is going to happen is I am going to go there and I'm going to see why they're not qualifying, basically why they're not winning the games in such a manner, in such a way that they are not that they should get qualified, right? So there will be two people in front of me whom I am going to ask things to. First will be Mr. Virat, Mr. Virat Kohli. Yes, he's who? He's the captain. Consider this man as the staff person. Okay, that's a name, that's a technical term we are going to use in the entire chapter. So consider Virat Kohli, who is the captain, who is the head of this team, as the staff person, and the other players who are currently not that supportive to the captain, and that's why they're not winning. These other players as line people, okay, Line, line people. So yeah, they are lined up below the captain. That's why captain as the staff people, as the staff person, and other players as the line persons, or the line people. And these two are obviously the people, or I could say more good word would be these are the batsmen, bowlers, right? In total, they are the players. They are the one who are going to play on the field, apply their judgments, take the decisions, and the next thing that would be come in front of me is their bat, or I could say the ball. The ball is not going to be that great thing. As an example, I would consider it bat. Why bat? It's an object, right? So, for our example, we are considering that RCB is playing the matches, and RCB has also a company who manufactures the bats that the batsmen use. Why this happens? Consider it as an example, guys. It's not a reality. So, why I'm going to check the bat and the batsman both? See, firstly, I'm going to check whether Mr. Virat Kohli is able to manage the team. Okay, I am going to check whether Mr. Virat Kohli is able to manage the team. I am going to check whether all these players, including Virat Kohli, is able to take good decisions. Right? So what I'm doing, I'm analyzing the management's managing power, or I could say the managing ability, and I'm going to check whether they are good at decision making. Now, these people are going to say that yes, we are the best decision makers, we are the good managers. So, what will they say? They will say that the bat that we are procuring are not in a good condition. So, might be a case that the bat which are being produced, which are being manufactured, are of low quality, right? So, if I go and check the ability to manage of Mr. Virat Kohli, of the staff people, or in the real business world of the management, I am doing management audit. And if I am going to check how the bat is being produced or manufactured, whether it is in an efficient way, or it is being produced haphazardly, what material, how quality is being implemented or not, and all those factors, then I am basically doing the operational audit. So, two basic differences that we have got now. What is operational audit and what is management audit? Let's get back to our notes. Firstly, see, if we go here, you could see that what is a management audit? What is a management audit? It is the audit of the management, right? That is evaluation of what? The manager's ability to manage. That is whom? Mr. Virat Kohli's ability to manage, right? So I'm going to ask Mr. Virat Kohli, sir, why you are not winning? Where are you lacking? So basically, I will ask Mr. Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli is who? He's the staff man, or we can say he's the manager, top management. So it is the manager's ability to manage. I'm basically evaluating it. That comes under management audit. Second thing, how the decision is being taken, how Mr. Virat Kohli is taking good decisions, whether the decisions he is taking are on correct time or not, whether they are effective or not, whether they are efficient or not. This thing I am also going to cover in my audit. This will again be covered in the management audit scope. Okay, now we will going to see what is the scope of this management audit. Why we are doing it, yeah? Like, see, the need, we are going to see the need for management audit. But then, what's the basic scope of management audit? Why? What it is going to look into? So the first thing, the scope of management audit, see, it is going to look into the objectives, it is going to look into the effectiveness, and it is going to look into the efficiency. Now, what do I mean by objectives? It is basically, there's a top management, Mr. Virat Kohli. His function, what are his function? To take good decisions, to observe good captaincy. I am going to evaluate it. I am going to evaluate the functions of the top management. What Mr. Virat Kohli will do in while playing, he is going to lay down some objectives, right? He is going to lay down some means, or he is going to make some plan for a good cricket what game, right? How they are going to play today, what is going to be their strategy. So he is the person who is the top manager, and he has some certain functions. What functions does he have? To lay down the objectives, like what are the objectives? Obviously to win the match, to lay down the policies, means and procedures of implementation and control. That is what is the strategy today, right? And actually making the person or the team players do what he is intended to do. That is actually engage in direction and control on continuous basis, right? So Mr. Virat Kohli is going to do these things, and scope, the management audit will include this. So I'm going to ask Mr. Virat Kohli, Mr. Virat, tell me how you set the objectives. Mr. Virat, tell me how you make people do things, right? The second thing that the management audit is going to cover is the effectiveness. What does effectiveness mean? Effectiveness means basically it is the evaluation of relevance and effectiveness of the aims, duties, and decisions of management at various levels. I am going to see, I am going to observe, I am going to evaluate the effectiveness and relevance of the aims, duties, and decisions of management. This is the second thing that is going to happen. And third thing is efficiency. That is, I am going to see that whether Mr. Virat Kohli is doing the correct things, and not only he is doing correct things. Obviously, Mr. Virat Kohli is an outstanding player. He is doing correct things, but whether he is doing the correct things at correct time, at right times, like whatever the decisions he is taking, they are absolutely correct. He has experience. He is a very young player. But then, what matters is whether the actions that he intends to take are being taken at the right time or not. So first thing is whether management is doing the correct things, and whether the management is doing those things correctly. So at correct timing, at correct intervals. So whatever the case may be, whether the things are being done in the correct manner. So correct things should be done and in the correct manner. So both things I am going to check, and that is being covered under management audit. Now the question comes, sir, what is management audit versus operational audit? There is a figure, this picture, okay? This is a bat and this is Mr. Virat Kohli. For the time being, assume, okay, bat. Can you check this bat always comes on the lower side of the batsman, right? So if we go level wise, this is a lower level and Mr. Virat Kohli is the upper level. So, a trick for remembering management audit versus operational audit is operational audit deals with the lower part of the organization and operational audit deals with the upper part. Or In technical terms, difference is not in the method of doing them, but it is in the level of the appraisal. So in operational audit, we are appraising bad and related functions to bad, but in case of management audit, we are appraising the manager, the upper level management, the top management. So basically, see, a batsman cannot play without a bat, and a bat has no use without a batsman. So basically, they are complementary and supplementary to each other. So yes, management audit and operation audit are complementary and supplementary to each other. Now, management audit deals with the quality of managing of Virat Kohli, but operation audit deals with what? Quality of operations. That is how the bat is being produced, manufactured, quality of raw materials, right? And this one I discussed, this one I told you that the difference does not lies in the method. The method is going to be more or less same, but it lies in the level of appraisal. That is, I am appraising, that is, I am evaluating Mr. Virat Kohli's decision. That is going to be the top management's appraisal. And when I am appraising, when I am evaluating how the bad and effectiveness of its production procedures, I am coming to the lower level of appraisal. Okay. So got this. And in more simpler and in business terms, management audit versus operational audit. Obviously, in management, we are going to go and ask the managers how you are taking decisions, how you are managing the business. And operational audit, whenever the management is taking decisions, those decisions are going to get implemented at the control level, at the functional level. That is, say, managers are planning that the next month we should have a production of 10,000 kilos of XYZ quality. When I go into the operations or when I go into the production department, I'm seeing that not 10,000, only 5,000 is being produced. The quality is also low. So basically at management audit, I'm going to check whether the management is good at making decisions, and an operational audit, I'm going to check whether the production department is good at making the produce. Okay, so these are the basic differences. Now, why we need management audit? RCB fans are calling and asking me why we need management audit. Our players are the best. It might be a luck that we are losing. No, guys, there are certain problems and we need to analyze them. So, management audit is required for detecting and overcoming the current problems. So, whatever problems you guys are facing, the RCB team is facing, I need to detect them, I need to tell them how to overcome. So, that is being covered in management audit. That is the need for management audit. Next is what? There's a desired objective. There has been no IPL trophy to them yet. So I need to assist them in accomplishing their desired objectives. And obviously, public sector undertakings. What is this? You know, the administration and the entire function of a PSU is very loose. We know na sarkari naukar, or we say that government employee. So management audit is very much required in public sector undertakings for the improved management. Okay, in business terms, if we talk detecting and overcoming current problems, there has been certain issues. Management has a certain plan, organization is not giving the output, there has been certain disputes, then can be many reasons. So management audit is required for detecting and overcoming the current problems. It is required in accomplishing the desired objectives, and obviously in public sector undertakings it is required for the improvement in the management. Now, I am going to go and check Mr. Virat Kohli. I am going to go and check the manufacturing process of the bats that are being purchased or that are being produced by the RCB's team. What knowledge should I have? What essential qualities should the management auditor should have? The first thing, the very basic thing, if I talk about the bat, what I'm going to check? Whether the raw material that is being procured is of good quality or not. Basic thing. So I'm going to check production and planning. I should have a knowledge about the production and planning of the entire business. Second thing, I'm going to go and check that how is your batting order? How good is your batting order? So management structure can be remembered as batting order. Yeah. Then third thing, why RCB is being created? Why RCB is there? I need to know their objective. They are there because they want to earn the IPL trophy. They want to entertain the people by playing very good. Yeah. So purpose of organization can be remembered as why it was created. I should know the management auditor. I should know as a management auditor. I should know why the team or why the business has been created. Then I will check their batting order. That is basically the management structure. Right. Third thing I'm going to check is the quality of raw material of bat. How the bat is being produced, production and planning. Right. Next, internal control, the very constant thing everywhere. Whenever we do any kind of audit, internal control is going to be a constant and common thing. right? Now I'm going to check which player is healthy, which player is not healthy. Basically for that what I will require their health reports. So we can remember it as reports required for proper management. So management auditor should have a good knowledge of what of the reports that are required for proper management by the managers, right? Now I'm going to check that there are certain players who are not coordinating good with each other, so I'm going to check the relationships. So yes, flow functions and mutual relationships. In this context, what does mutual relationship means? This means mutual relationship between the functions, so the flow of functions and the mutual relationships. Now I'm going to go and check that someone is complaining me that I am not being paid good, that's why I'm not playing good. So I will check the personal policy management and training. So whether good training has been given, what is the personal policy and management, whether quite good remuneration is being given or not. Same what I told here, raw material of bats, same. I'm going to check the sources of important raw materials and their quality for the bat being produced. Now since these players are going to get so much of money, right, where this money is being getting invested? Are these players getting like I need to check now. See, these players are not playing well, but we are paying them good amount. So are you taking some money from other sources also? Are you involved in certain black things? I'm going to check. So I'm going to go into the financial matters, that is the financial management of the organization. This is how we are going to remember this point. Yes. Now next thing, what next thing comes up? The decision making process. I should have knowledge of the decision making process. Same way I should have a knowledge of the factory layout and design, the books and records, and the sales management and sales planning. These are in total 13 points. These are called as the qualities of a management auditor. This is basically the essential knowledge that a management auditor should have. We have learned this, basically we have done a trick. Yeah, we have used a trick to learn this. You guys know this is a very basic and easily understandable point. It is easily understandable points, right? But how to remember them? So this is the way. So first thing, we are going to check why the organization was created, or we can say why RCB team was created. I should know it. Second thing, I should know the batting order, that is the management structure. I should know the health reports of the players, that is the reports required for proper management. Internal controls is a constant thing, it is going to come everywhere. I should check how the relationship between the players exists, that is the flow of functions and mutual relationships. I am going to check the production and planning of the bat. I am going to check the sources of raw materials and quality of those raw materials while producing the bat. I'm going to check the factory layout and design. I'm going to check whether players are being paid good or not, that is personal policy and management. I'm going to check whether the players are not getting some other benefits from other ways. So I'm going to check the financial management of organization, or I would say I should have the knowledge of the financial management of the organization. Then I should have the books and records. I should have the knowledge of the books and records. I should have the knowledge of the decision making process, and I should have the knowledge of which one is left, this sales management and sales planning. So clear guys, now you are not going to forget. Next point, management audit questionnaire. What is this management audit questionnaire? Basically it is a tool. See, when I'm going to go to Mr. Virat Kohli, I cannot ask, sir, tell me how you are managing your team, sir, tell me how decisions are being taken. He will say, please go home, I'm not answerable to you. Okay, so what I will do, I will go to Mr. Virat Kohli and I will ask him, sir, before taking a decision, do you consult someone or not? So he will answer yes, no, or he would say that when I am the captain, when I am on the field, I don't have the requirement to consult someone. I need to take the decision on myself. So the question, to answer to the question becomes not applicable. So basically, management audit questionnaire is a tool for conducting management audit. Thereby, I will take a paper and I will go to the manager, or I will go to Mr. Virat Kohli and will ask him certain questions, right? This is an inquiry into some important facts. Now, Mr. Virat Kohli will answer it into the yes, into no, or not applicable. What is basically the purpose or objective of this tool? The first one is comprehensive and constructive examination of an organizational management and its assigned task. The first basic thing. Second, appraisal of management actions in accomplishing organizational objectives. Right. Third, highlighting weaknesses in organization. Fourth, I will review the management's PDCO. What is PDCO? Planning, direction, controlling and organizing, and evaluation of decision making process. That's the objective. Now comes the main part. See, this was a part that is being given in the module and we need to know this, but that doesn't mean that we need to learn this. Now we are going to the next thing. What are the three possible answers to every question in a management audit questionnaire? It can be yes, it can be no, it can be any. When it is yes, it means it is a good thing, or it is that whatever Mr. Virat Kohli is doing, it is in an acceptable manner and we need no written explanation for it. Whereas whenever he says no, he is basically performing the function in an unacceptable manner and I need a written explanation. Whenever I ask him, sir, why don't you consult someone when taking a decision before starting of the match? He has to give me a written explanation why he doesn't consult. And any is a not applicable case when the question asked is not applicable. Now this was all regarding management audit questionnaire, and a question might come up about this, and this is such an easy thing to do. Important tool, important facts, right? Their objectives and the answers to a management audit questionnaire. After conducting the management audit or after consulting Mr. Virat Kohli, what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and I'm going to go to Mr. Virat Kohli and I'm going to ask, sorry sir, I went to Mr. Virat Kohli and I went with a questionnaire and asked him. The answers were yes, the answers were no, the answers were any. Now after doing that, I'm going to come back to my office and I'm going to form a report, right? This will be a final report. So it will be called as management audit report. As a statutory auditor, we issues an independent audit report. So here I'm going to issue a management audit report. Now it will be a written report, basic thing. It will be a written report. It will include comments, criticisms, recommendations of management audit department. What does management audit department means? Basically, it is a department which has the responsibility to conduct the management audit, right? So whatever comments I have, whatever criticisms I have, whatever recommendations I have, I will include it in the written audit report and I will convey this to the board of directors, to the functional directors, to the management in general. I'm going to convey all of them. So I'm going to, even to the fans, yeah, I'm going to give them the report. See why RCB is losing, why RCB is losing. Am I going to go, I'm going to do that? No. I am not going to distribute the report with the fans, obviously. I'm going to distribute it only to the top management level, who are the franchisee owners, who are the coaches, who are the trainers, right? So I'm going to talk to the board of directors, to the functional directors, to the management in general. This report may be divided into four categories. I will divide my report into four categories. This report was very sensitive and it had so much of content to deliver. So I divided into how much categories? Four categories. First category or the first section. It will include the reports that are prepared by the management or the staff after their visit to a unit. I told my articles, guys, I am interviewing Mr. Virat Kohli. You go and check how the bat is being produced. No, that is going to be your operational part. I am going to tell them, go and you inquire other players in the team. While I am talking to Mr. Virat Kohli, you go and talk to other players in the team. So they are going to prepare a report. So basically, it is my staff who has prepared the report by visiting a unit. So these reports will have a part in my report. These reports will form a part of my report. Second category will include periodical reports prepared by senior members of the management audit department, which summarizes the main audit findings and recommendations for the period. Now I have interviewed Mr. VK. My other articles have interviewed all other players. The report comes. It's much bulky. Now my senior people, the people who are very senior in my organization, they will do what? They will summarize this entire report. They will summarize the findings, the recommendations, and prepare a periodical reports. This periodical reports will also form a part of my final report. Third category, reports on the results of special investigation and inquiry. So if some special investigation has been done by me, special inquiry has been done by me, that will form a part of my management audit report and an annual audit report. This doesn't mean independent auditor's report, okay? This means what this annual audit report means. This is basically the management annual audit report. Understood, guys? Everybody with me? Everybody with me? We'll move to the next point. Now, types of reports. How many types of management audit reports are there? I asked Mr. Virat Kohli, sir, what do you do for energy? He says, I take ORS. What he says? I take ORS. What does I mean? Interim written reports. What does O means? Oral reports. What does R means? Regular written reports and summary written reports. Now, what does this reports mean? Sir, we have understood the trick. Now we can learn the reports very easily. But then, what does they mean? Oral reports. See, in case there's some emergency and I don't have the time to just write down the content and get it delivered. There's an emergency, I will immediately go to the management and I will tell them this is happening. Immediately changes. So this is required in case of emergency. There is no permanent record because they are orally told, they are orally conveyed, and they help in taking the corrective steps time. Okay, there's a fire in your department, what you are going to do? Are you going to write down a report? No, you're immediately going to somebody and tell them, sir, there's a fire, please come. Okay, and if the fire causes a large amount of destruction and if the onus comes on you, that is you were responsible for making the fire go away, what you are going to tell? I told him but he did not listen and that guy died in that fire. That's not, there's no permanent record. That's how oral reports are. Second comes interim written reports. What does these interim written reports mean? Basically, after a management audit, I need to issue a regular written report. I need to issue a what? Regular written report. These are a formal reports, right? But before issuing these formal reports, I feel that there should be some draft reports to be given to the management. Like there are certain matters which need early consideration, and for those things oral is not also good. Like it's not an emergency, but it's not a thing that can be delayed till the preparation of the final report. So I will issue an interim written report. I will inform the management before regular report issued in case of matters requiring early consideration, to inform the management. And then comes a summary written report. These are important. It can be an MCQ. These are also called as flash reports. Flash, what does flash means? Something flashes in front of you and goes away. That's how summary reports are. Basically, they do what? All the regular reports or all the other reports, summary written report just summarizes all of them with an integrated approach and facilitates the management in cases of exceptions. That is what summary written reports do. So this summarizes various individual reports on integrated approach and facilitates management by exception. So this does not mean that summary written reports only includes management audit reports. No, they might include some other reports, some other department, some other audit reports, and they will use an integrated approach. So that's why summary written reports. Okay, now what should be the general format of management audit report? First, toss. Yeah, whenever a match starts, the first thing that happens is toss. So title, objective, scope. TOS. Toss. So you should have a title, you should have objective, you should have scope. Then comes what? Then comes what? Findings, conclusion, opinions, recommendations, auditees' views, that is management's views, and the summary. And the summary. No, that's not an important part. This is not a very important part. But since it is there, we need to cover it. We cannot drop anything. We cannot divide a chapter into A category, B category, C category. Okay. What are the steps to prepare the management audit report? This is also an important question. The first thing that we do, what we do, plan. So we will plan the audit report. That is, we will ask what needs to be done here. Second thing, we will collect the evidence. So first we will plan, we will collect the evidence. What does evidence means? Basically supporting information for supplementing the audit. Now I have the evidence, I have done the audit. Now we'll prepare a draft report. This draft report will be given to everybody for a plain reading, for a bare reading, right? Now I will write and issue the final report. So, like in the financial auditing, when we are doing a financial audit, what our responsibility ends after, like not responsibility, but our work is done after issuing the final report, right? But here, no. After issuing the final audit report, also we need to follow whether management has taken any action, and if they have not taken any action, right? So the action response of management on management audit report. So if the management has not acted, then we need the reasons and we need to check whether there, like we need to take some further actions or not. So these are the steps to do the management audit report. These are the steps to prepare the management audit report. Now, what is going to happen is laterly, like in the very recently, what has happened is when I went to Mr. Like when I went to Mr. Virat Kohli, Mr. Virat Kohli told me, "Who are you?" He asked me, "Who are you? Who are you to audit me?" Okay, his team players are also arguing with me. So basically, there are certain behavioral aspects related with management audit. Whenever I went to them, they don't answer me. They just say that we don't need to answer somebody else. We are playing fine. We know we will win one day. We have good luck. So that's not going to happen. We need to study the causes of these behavioral issues, and we need to study the solutions for them. So what are the causes? The first cause is staff line conflict. I told you staff and line. Staff means Mr. Virat Kohli and line means other players which are lined up below him. So when I went to the other players, they are telling us that Mr. Virat Kohli is very abusive with us. He is not giving the instructions in a good way. And when I went to Mr. Virat Kohli, he says that those players are basically very lazy. They don't listen until unless I use slang words with them. Okay, please guys consider this as an example. This is just an illustration for the purpose of we remembering this 5 marks topic. So staff is basically Mr. Virat Kohli, line is basically other players, and there is a conflict between the staff and the line. Now, why this happens? Management auditors are staff people, so we are the staff people. Even Mr. Virat Kohli is a staff people for the time being, but we are the people who are not actually involved into things. We are going to check, we are going to question them. So we, the management auditors, are staff people, and the members of other departments are line people. Management auditors are staff people, and members of other departments are line people. They will tell me, sir, you recently told us that Virat Kohli is a staff person, and now you are saying that management audits are staff people. See, guys, management audit or management audit department is not a separate department. It is within an organization. Organization itself appoints them, and it is at the very top level. Okay, it is at the very top level. When I told you to consider Mr. VK as staff people, it basically means that to consider the top management as the staff people. So management audit department also sits with the very top level of management. That's why management auditors are staff people and members of other departments are line people. That is the managers at the departmental level, or all other people who are answerable to me are basically line people. They are lined up below me, right? Now what happens is I have a superiority complex. I feel that I am a chartered accountant. I have so much of experience. I have worked with them, worked with those. I have done this and that. So I have a superiority complex. Not in reality, but for the example. So I have a superiority complex. Yes. And what happened that I may think that my approach and solutions are the only answers. So that I am not opened up. So this is the first thing that may cause a differences of opinion between me and the people there, or between Mr. Virat Kohli and the line people. So see, management auditors has superiority complex, and they may think that their approach and solutions are the only answers, right? Now, what happens is that the auditors, I do not consider the line before advising. As a result, the line may not use advice of staff properly. This happens when I am giving my management audit report. I am not going to consider their advices. I am going to only ask them questions, their answers, and I am going to apply my own judgment. So, whenever my management audit report will be considered by the franchisee owners, and they will tell the coaches that okay, implement these changes, might be a case that the staff people will not even accept my changes because what? Because I did not consider them when I was recommending. Okay, and line does not cooperate with staff and do not provide sufficient information to staff. This also happens because when I go to them, they feel that I am coming with certain kind of attitude, and they are not going to cooperate with me. If I ask 10,000 questions to them, they are going to say NA to all of them. That might be a case. They will not provide me sufficient information. Now, what happens is, firstly, we are talking about the causes. Okay, the staff line conflict. What does staff line conflict mean? Because of two levels, like staff and the line. So, because of certain things, there is a conflict between both of them, and that's why there are certain behavioral aspects that we are studying. The next one is control. This is also a cause. What does this mean? Basically, see, what happens that if I go to the players, if I ask them questions, they might feel that I might report something negative about them. I might say that this player is not good, this player is involved in betting, this player is doing that. So that might be a case that I might do, and this will impact them negatively. So there are certain causes, right? This is also a part of that the management auditor is expected to evaluate the effectiveness of control. I am only expected to do that. There is an instinctive reaction from the auditee, that is the people in front of me, that the report of the auditor may affect them. It might affect them negatively. There is also a fear that the action taken based on the management audit report may create their incompetent impression on the top management, and this cause antagonism. Now, what might happen that if I tell them that okay, this player from this RCB team is very much, like what I would say, very poor, he may also feel that okay, because of my reporting, his impression is going to go down, and in the next auction, he is not going to get any money. This might cause antagonism in himself. Yeah. So, what are the causes of this antagonism? Fear of criticism. If I report something negative, that I will criticize him, that there's a fear in him that I might criticize him. Fear of changes in day-to-day working habits. Yeah, I might suggest something that there should be a change in this and that might change their daily routine, and they're also fearing that. Then, if I report something negative, there might be a punitive actions by whom? By the superior. Then, because of my report, insensitive audit practices and hostile audit style. What does these two mean? This basically means that I, what I am doing is in my report, I am basically only focusing on deficiencies, right? I am very much critical, and I am not giving constructive criticism. I am going, I am telling them that this is not there, this is bad, this is that, this is that, like all those things. I am only talking negative. And the perception that auditor gains personally from reporting deficiencies. So it might be a case that the players might feel, or the people in the organization feel, that I am gaining personally from the reporting of these deficiencies. So these are insensitive audit practices, and this will ultimately create what? A fear or a cause of antagonism in them. In whom? In the people whom I am auditing. And hostile audit style, what does this mean? This is a cold and a distant aspect. But what I'm going, but like I'm feeling I'm the superior. I'm just abruptly asking them questions in a very arrogant way. My tone of asking is also very bad. So we can say that superiority and excessive concentration on insignificant errors. There are certain errors. There are certain things which I am observing, but they are very insignificant. They do not have a very high what say impact, but then still I am concentrating on them, like just for the sake of pointing out them. Prosecution tone when asking questions. What does this mean? Prosecution tone. When we go to, have you heard the arguments between lawyers in a courtroom? Right? Prosecutional procedure. That's how the questions are being asked. Tell me why you were there. This should not be the case, right? So if I have a prosecutional tone when asking the questions, this is again going to create a feeling of antagonism. So I hope you guys have now understood the causes, or what we would say, the behavioral aspects, the causes for the behavioral aspects, negative behavioral aspects. Yeah. Now what is the solution? We as a chartered accountant, what we are expected, we are here for solutions. We are not here for pointing out mistakes. So what will be the solution to them? Obviously, I would tell them this, sir, I am coming, I am a management auditor, I am coming to you, and I don't have any objective to punish you, or I don't have any objective to talk negative about you. I am here to protect you, I am here to protect the team, I am here to make you the most out of yourself. It might be a case that he feels good that okay, he is here for some, he's not here for pointing out my mistakes, he's basically here for a protective function, right? So we can demonstrate everybody that this audit is a part of an overall program of review for protective and constructive benefit of all, right? I can demonstrate them that the objective of this review is to provide maximum services to everybody, to in each and every managerial dimension. I'm going to tell them, like whenever I'm going to go into, I'm going to review the procedures, when I'm going to conduct the management audit, I will ensure that there is minimum interference in their day-to-day work, minimum interference in their regular operations. I will involve some responsible officers in the process. I will not send my newly recruited articles. They will go and they will do whatever they want. Basically, articles do these things. They go and they do insensitive practices because they are very new. They feel that they are the boss of this arena. But that's not the case. I will involve some responsible officers who have good experience in talking, also in communication. I will create an atmosphere of trust and friendliness, right? Now, three more things that I can do is constructive criticism. What does constructive criticism means? It basically means that auditor should concentrate only on constructive criticism. That is, he should make obvious in his reports the value of his comments in tangible terms. I should not say this is lacking, this is bad, this is worse. No, my method, my perception, my way of reporting should be constructive. That is, sir, this is not the correct way of doing it. It might be done in this way. Or there might be some experts available. We should take a opinion from them. That is basically constructive criticism. That is, even when you are criticizing, there is certain value to your criticism. It might change the entire process for a more better good. Next is the reporting methods. Next comes the reporting methods. What does reporting methods basically means? Like say the tone in the report should not be very harsh, right? The tone, see, a friendly but firm tone in his report. It should not be very harsh. As I told you, this is very bad. This is worst. This I never observed this kind of process in my entire. No. The report, the tone should be very firm. Like, sir, the process is not up to the mark. It is currently operating at 70% efficiency. We can take it up to 85% efficiency. Somebody would have called it as this is the worst thing that can happen. 70% efficiency is a very bad thing. No, the tone should be very, 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 what we would say, friendly, but it should be also firm. And next comes the participative approach. Obviously, when I'm asking the people whom I'm auditing certain opinions, certain suggestions, like if I ask Mr. Virat Kohli and his team players, sir, tell me some suggestions, what you feel should be done. And when I'm asking them suggestions and I'm incorporating them into my report, and when the franchisee owners approve the report and the coaches have to implement them, it might be a case, or it will be a case that they will easily accept because I have involved them into my audit. So basically, I have made them participate. So that is what it is called as participative approach. That is, auditors' reports have better acceptability if the improvements suggested are discussed with those who have to implement them. So guys, we have successfully completed this part, management audit. Now we are moving to the next part, operational audit. Quickly, just summarize yourself with all that we have done above, and you can even compare it with your module. 100% coverage we have done, and with example it has become more and more easy. Now it is operational audit. What does operational audit means? Basically, now I was looking towards Mr. Virat Kohli and his players. Now I am going to the bat. How the bat is being produced, how the raw material is being procured, whether the bat is being produced in the exact way that has been intended, or it is being produced in some other way, other manner. It is a review, appraisal of operations of an organization conducted by competent independent person. So I am an independent person. Now see, I am not going to have a complete knowledge about how the bat is produced. I am not going to have a complete knowledge about how Mr. Virat Kohli takes his decisions. But then there has to be certain things that I might check to, I might refer to, such as standards. We are going to go to them now. See, operational audit. So I am going to review and what? I am going to review an appraisal of operations of an organization conducted by competent independent person. Analyzes regular operations like production of the bat, purchase of the raw materials, sales, etc. to check whether they are in tune with the company's policies, objectives and goals or not. And I will focus more on qualitative aspects of operations rather than regular accounting aspects. Okay, so I am going to go into more depth rather than just from the like bird's eye view. I'm not going to have that bird's eye view. I'm going to go in certain detail. Three types of operational audits are there: functional audit, organizational audit, special audit. The franchisee owner of of RCB team calls me and tells us that, sir, the bats we are procuring, we feel that there's certain fraud going on. Please go and check. Special assignment. It is at the request of the management for special thing like investigating the possibility of fraud in a division. Now I say no, no sir, there is no fraud. The bats that you are producing are very, very, very up to the mark, and we don't need, like, I don't see any possibility of fraud. So they say that okay, then I think that there are certain functional issues. That is when the bat is being produced. It might be a case that the machines are being operated over hoursly, that is more than their capacity. There is certain issues. So, okay, I went and checked them. That is functional audit. Basically, what deals with one or more functions in an organization, like payroll for a division of the company as a whole. I say no, sir. The functions are also good. There's no issue in the function. The production is good. The planning of the production is good. The sourcing of raw materials is also fine. He says no. Then you please go and check the entire RCB team, including Mr. Captain, his players, the coaches, the umpire, not the umpire, the coaches, the trainer, everyone. You check everyone, including the entire procedure of the bat producing thing. That is the company of RCB who is producing the bats. So I am going to go and check the entire thing, that is deals with what, the entire organizational unit, like what, a department, a branch, a subsidiary, right, and deals with efficiency and effectiveness of the functions. Three types of audits in operational: functional audit, organizational audit, spatial. Okay, what are the objectives and scope of operational audit? See, the first thing, this is not that important. The first thing I want to tell you is this part is not that important. We are looking it just for the sake of looking, that we have not ignored anything. Just for the sake of looking it. Okay. So first thing I'm going to go and check is the appraisal of controls. That is whether the controls are adequate. Second is evaluation of performance. See, I am not an expert, so I need to have certain standards with me. So what I will do, I will take some good trainer with good coach with me while I am going to go to the production plant of the bat, and he will guide me that okay, Chinmay, the bat should have this much of width, this much of grip, this much of that, this much of slope. So basically, I will depend upon what, the availability of acceptable standard. That trainer, he knows many things, right? So he has a good standard benchmark. I'm going to check around that only, that whether we are producing around the benchmark or not. Appraisal of objectives, appraisal of what, objectives and plans. Now I'm not concerned with how technically well the operations are going on. I am only concerned with how effectively, how efficiently, and how economically the bats are being produced. That is how I'm concerned with. I'm not concerned with whether you are giving a goods receipt note to the supplier whenever the raw material for the bat are being received by you. I'm only concerned with whether the materials of a good quality, whether the material used is efficiently used, is not wasted much, whether the bats are being produced in time, and all those things, right? Now, appraisal of organizational structure. See, I'm going to check whether the person who is batting at the sixth line, whether, like, we cannot check that way because that becomes a part of management audit. In organization structure, I am going to see that whether your structure of the organization is in conformity with the management objective. So the management objective for the next year is to produce at least 10,000 bats. Whether the organizational structure is in such a way which will achieve this objective or not, I'm going to check that. Second thing, the person who has been given certain responsibilities, whether he has matching authorities to execute them or not, I'm going to check this. I'm going to check that whether the line of responsibility from the top to the bottom is clearly discernible from the structure, that from only by looking at the organized structure, am I able to see the responsibilities of the top and the bottom level management and all those between them. And the last stage is that overlapping of the responsibilities are avoided, right? So these are the basically the objectives and scope. It's not that important. We have looked at it just for the sake of looking, just for the sake of doing it. Why we need the operational audit? Obviously, we need it because we need to check whether the bat is in line with the quality that the players are expecting or not. That is the need of managers responsible for areas beyond their direct observation. See, batsmen are not going to go and check how the bat is being produced, but they have certain expectations. If they don't get the bat of that quality that they need, it's not going to be of any use. So that's why we need operational audit. Now, as a management auditor, I had certain requirements. As a operational auditor, I need to have certain knowledge. I need to have certain qualities. Firstly, I should be inquisitive. That is what, see, I don't have much knowledge beyond the area of accounting and finance, but I'm still going and looking at how the bat is being produced. So I need to be inquisitive. I need to be more questioning. I need to check everything, like how, why. I need to ask the questions very often. Now I need to visualize whether simple alternative means are available to do a particular work. Obviously, I need to check that you have set up a process, but I feel that this can be done in this way also, and this is a more simpler process. I need to have a attitude of skepticism. This is a basic thing. That is what, as auditor, we need to have this skepticism, a questioning mind. I need to have a constructive approach and not a fault finding. I am not there, like I need to be observant of the faults, but I'm not there to find faults. Okay, this is bad, this is bad. No, I need to have a constructive approach. If this is bad, what might be the solution and why this is bad? And last is, I should develop a team comprised of people of different experiences. Okay, of different experiences. Only then I will be forming a good legacy of audits. Now, operational audit versus internal auditing. What does operational audit and internal auditing differs in? Which parts are completely different, exclusive? See, nowadays internal auditing has grown so much that it covers operational auditing as well. But for the sake of our module, whatever is being given there, I have prepared this chart. See, operational audit is concerned with review and appraisal of operation, while internal auditing is concerned with determining whether other internal controls are well designed and in place. Basic thing. It is not a part of internal control, and this is the integral part of an internal control system. Operational auditing is a constructive function and it provides suggestions. Internal audit is just a protective function to safeguard the assets of the enterprise. CV analyzes, there is an analysis of all aspects of operation. Here it is primarily concerned with financial accounting and internal control. And it deals with qualitative aspect as well. It deals only with the quantitative aspect. Very easy. This we have already learned at inter level. This we have learned now. Yeah, very easy. Few keywords and your question is done. Next, financial auditing versus operational. Now, what is financial? It is basically means we are dealing with the financial statements, P&L, balance sheet. Yeah. So, concerned with the opinion that whether the historical info recorded is correct or not, that is risk of material misstatement wrong. We are going to give an opinion that the financial statement as a whole are play from this and that. Well, operational auditing is concerned with effectiveness and efficiency of operations for future performance. I am restricted, or financial auditing is restricted to the matters directly affecting the appropriateness of the presented financial statement, that is errors or frauds. Here we cover all the activities that are related to efficiency and effectiveness of the business operations. Operational audit report is primarily for the management. Here the audit report is sent to all the stockholders, bankers and everybody. Financial audit report, the work of the financial auditor ends as soon as the report is sent. Operational audit is not limited to reporting only. It includes suggestions for improvement. So the role does not end there. Now we'll come to the next part. Now we'll come to the next part, and this is the last part. This is the last part of this entire chapter. Hopefully, you guys are understanding everything. Review of systems and procedures. What does this mean? What do we mean by systems? What do we mean by procedures? Basically, if I want to do something, say how the raw materials for the batch should be procured, a procedure will be given to me that I need to call the raw material supplier, I need to note down the quantity required, I need to convey him, then he will place an order, he will procure it and he will come to delivery. I will take the delivery, I will keep it, I will first inspect it, I will inspect its quality, then I will give a set assurance note to him that okay, received, good quality received. I will take that stock and keep it in my inventory room. So this is all a set procedure. So it is basically procedures which are like a process that has been given on a paper, Whereas system is what? Systems are basically different functions like purchasing, production, all these different functions set together, integrated together, working in a wholesome manner. This is basically a system. So if I say like I am producing the bag, so my system of my organization includes purchasing the raw material, manufacturing them, inspecting their quality, producing them, selling them, everything. So basically all the procedures, when we just attach them, integrate them in their entirety, and they become the function, or we could say they become functional, they become systems, right? So systems, the word system may be defined as a set of objects together with relationships between the object and their attributes connected or related to each other and to their environment in such a manner as to form an entire integral system. For example, see, manufacturing, purchasing, marketing, these are objects, right? There is a relationship between manufacturing and purchasing, between purchasing and marketing, right? And their attributes connected or related to each other and to their environment. So this all in entirety is connected to what? A business organization. So this becomes a system. Now. What happens is systems are an integration of the different functions, or we could say different plethora of functions. What are procedures? It is a mean or a means by which policies are implemented. Most often, procedures entail the use of documents in accordance with precise instructions or methods to be used. So basically, there will be a document and it will tell you how to produce something. How an auditor, how I am going to review the systems and procedures. See, if there is a poor system or a poor procedure, it may prevent the carrying out of the policy for which it was intended. This is the basic thing. A system, because the business, the technology are advancing, a system may have outgrown its usefulness. Now it is not that useful. Now there is no need to call the supplier. You can immediately put an order on your computer, or as soon as the production levels are increasing and as soon as the stock is going down, immediately an order will be punched. So there is no need for a specific function to be there, because the system is now not that useful because of technology. The end result of a system of a procedure may be loose and may require improvement. So auditor should ask himself. Himself means what? I will ask myself. Whether the function is properly located in the organization. Do the staff personnel have the necessary training and experience to perform the work? Has a definite program been established and has been taken for its attentive accomplishment? Is productivity satisfactory? These are the questions I am going to ask to myself. Is it important? When I am going to ask it to myself, not important. Then what is important, sir? Important is this. How we are going to review it. To determine whether system or procedures is meeting current requirements, the following should be considered. What? First, see, I will ask the question whether the system or procedure is designed to promote the achievement of the company's objectives and whether they are accomplished effectively. I will check whether the system procedure operate within the framework of the organization. I will check whether the system or procedure are in such a manner to obtain maximum performance with the least expenditure of time and effort. I will also check whether they are being performed in a logical sequence, whether they provide the means for effective coordination between one department and another, and whether have all required functions been established. So, sir, is there any shortcut to remember this all point? See, I would suggest you to not have any shortcut, because see, this chapter is barely going to come for 5 marks. So five marks, we cannot ignore them, we cannot ignore it, but we cannot even go to its depth also. So we need to cover it from, we could say, like from a bird's eye view. At the same time, we need to cover everything. So I would suggest you to just do and remember majority of these keywords that have been underlined, and you will be done with this. And with this, okay, last 2 points are remembering. Last 2 points are remaining. Has the necessary authority been designated to carry out responsibilities, and can any changes be made to improve effectiveness? Okay. And with this, we have completed with this chapter. I hope you guys have understood it thoroughly. If you have any doubt, any query, do ping me, do tell me. I will be more than happy, more than grateful to help you. Not now, not before, every time, anytime. Hope and all the best for your exams. In the next 1 week, the notification for the new course might come up. So stay active for that also. Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye. Good luck.